Well, I got started with this ManWeave unit. I guess last year I was inquiring about it, and I started asking questions. I've been a barber for 30 years plus. Since I got my barber license in 1988. Had my first shop before I had my license, my barber license. I had my first barber shop before I got my license in Brooklyn, New York, Troop Avenue, Troop and Flushing, right behind Woodhull Hospital. I cut Jay-Z and all them rappers' hair at that time, and I thought the industry had fell off as far as financially, and then I started getting back into it as of last year, and what caught my attention was these ManWeave units, how to do it, and it seemed like it was a big secret, and it is a big secret because everybody don't know how to do it. And as barbers, I would get together with other barbers and ask them, how do you think they do it? I was asked cosmetologists, how do they think they do it? And they wouldn't have the answer until I stumbled on ManWeaveUnit.com, and I seen this crazy guy walking in front of his house and pulling up his hair and saying, "This is what I look like. I just got out the shower, put my shower cap on." And I seen his brother, and I said, let me check this out. And I did my homework. I started looking into different guys who had did the class. And what I saw was everyone who came back, not one person said that they got enough information. Not one person. And I know plenty of barbers across the world. We're not just talking about in the state. Now I'm in Houston. But I started out in Brooklyn, New York, but I know barbers, not just here in America. I'm talking about barbers overseas. I try to get in contact with every person that I could who I knew was a barber, who I did hear, whether it was through Facebook, Instagram, people follow me. I would send messages and try to figure out, hey, who's doing this man unit and what is it about? And when I locked in on maybe about, I would say about three of the most famous guys here in America who's doing the man unit, who you've seen their videos, you've seen how the before and after, and it's like a wow, like okay. So then I said something to it. I started asking questions, and I started finding some of the barbers who actually attended the classes, and all of the barbers said, not one said, "Man, they gave me enough information." All of them said, "I didn't get enough information." Or it was excuse, or they said I had to do this, I can't remember it, I need to take it again. It's like, why you got to pay $700 twice? So you got to pay $1,500. You're telling me to take a ManWeave course, and you already in the profession? You should know it. And so I stumbled on ManWeaveUnit.com, and it literally, I just needed to see how they did it. And like I said, I've been cutting hair for a long time. I could put the puzzles together once I see it. But man, what's refreshing about it is that I can go on the site, look at it, and make sure I'm not missing nothing. It's the site, because it's live, for some reason it seemed like they just filmed it yesterday. I don't know, I think they did it last year or something like that, but it seemed like they just filmed it yesterday. So it looks fresh every time I do it. Every time I go on the site and look at ManWeaveUnit.com. So I look at the site, I'm like, man, and then they updating it. It stays updated. It stays updated. And so you look at it, you say, I could do that. And it stays fresh in your head. And, so I take my hat off to you guys, because, some of these other guys out here is straight raping and robbing our community of barbers because they're not really giving them what they need, especially the, I call it the gold. Was for the medical field, the insurance papers that you guys give. The insurance papers is like locked and loaded. Like, it gives you detail on how you can make money with insurance companies. So to me, that was because I'm looking for always streams of income. And if you're going to be working in a barbershop, or if this is what you decide to do, you need to open up your eyes and look at there's other ways to make money than just being behind the chair. If you're going to be behind the chair, then you need to maximize what you do. And that was gold right there for me. That was gold. The business plan, that was gold. I did plenty of business plans before, and it takes a lot to whoever did the business plan. That's a top-notch business plan. That's an A1 business plan. All you gotta do is just put your name in it, and that's filling. If you that, you should be a little bit savvy with Word. You can go in the Word document, take that name out, put your name in it, and do whatever you need to do, and to create your business plan. And you ready to go. You know, there's no way that you can't make money after watching the video.
Now you said you downloaded the information, Rod?
Yeah, I'm here. I went out for a second.
You said that you downloaded. Where did you have a big thick photo? Or what?
Yeah, man, it's in my other room, but I have a big thick book. And what I did was I downloaded 2 copies. I downloaded my sample copy, which that's like my reference copy. I highlighted stuff, all the stuff I like. And then I have a regular copy where I put my information in. So the book came out like about that big, but it's detailed for me. Strictly detailed for me.
I'm going to show them a little bit on that book, because a lot of people, they probably want to know what's in it. A lot of barbers that's thinking about the class or whatever. So I'm going to pull it up. I'm sharing this screen. And
okay.
Now, did you see the client consultation forms?
Yes, that was sick, because all you got to do is it's like it walks you through, and all you got to do is look at the consultation forms and just kind of reiterate that to your clients. You don't even really have to think of nothing to say, because everything is there for you.
Yeah, it's fill in the blank.
That's it.
Paste. So I know you talked about, let's see, the must-have business forms. That's the client consultation. So you literally, with these documents, they'll think you're a doctor. Once you pull out that clipboard, you have them to fill out all this, because we were doctors at first.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm going to see if we can get this pulled up. I know I got a lot of stuff open, so it may take a minute to pull up those documents. Okay, here it is. Can you see the screen? You see the screen, Rod?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so I'm gonna go through this. You can kind of, let's see, client consultation guide. Did you look at this?
Man, I told you I looked through everything, man. This is gold right here. It go down to the next page. Like right here. Even this right here, client profile and measurements. This is like, if you go this page and the page before, if you give that to your client, it's no different than sitting in a doctor's office, filling out an information sheet. You basically giving your client an information sheet so you can know a lot about them. And once you have this, it goes in your files. And once you have that in your files, when that client walks out, they're leaving out knowing that you have a bit of information about them, and they're not going to want to go through the process of finding somebody else to do what you already doing for them. So this kind of bonds a connection. It's like finding a doctor. Like, I don't want to go to another doctor because this doctor already knows me. This doctor already have all my information. So that's what I loved about this right here, the client profile.
And if they go to another barber and he don't have this, they're going to think that he's a jackleg, that he's not serious.
Exactly. And 9 times out of 10, most barbers don't have all of this information. You know, I seen other guys at the unit, and they don't have this information. They just put them in the chair, measure their head, and say, "Okay, I'll see you next week." Rather than doing it properly. So, you know, when you do it like this, I think it's more easier for someone to pay you. You know, because you already got so much information from them. When it's time to pay, they're not going to bat an eye. They're going to write that check, run their card, or come out their pocket with cash.
The client lifestyle form, we'll just keep going down.
Yeah.
The agreements. This is a
Yeah.
contract.
Yep. Can you go back up to that contract? What I loved about this contract right here was option one, client consultation agreement, because something I didn't get hip to before, but I don't know if you wanted me to say this, but what I like is that if if you go ahead and order the unit for the client, and the client wears it for a week, and then you put them like on I don't know, a payment plan or whatever, they'll be this is rock solid, so this person won't disappear with a unit that you purchase. If you paid $100 or $200 or $300 for a unit, that this kind of locks in. This what clicked to me when you was talking to me about, you know, earlier about making money. Like, even if you have to sometimes grind and purchase that unit for that client, and then have him put it on for a week and get a little payment for it, and then he could pay you off. This kind of like locks that in. And with all the information, you know, if he disappear, you know, it's worth suing, because at the end of the day, you're talking about $2,000-$3,000 unit that he may have on his head, that he may have of yours. And so this kind of protects you, but it also protects the client too, you know?
Right. So let's see. This is a release authorization. You can just lock in on anything you want. I just wanted to show them. Okay.
Right here. Yeah. This is gold right here. Because all you got to do, if you have a little knowledge of Word or any type of templates, you can see all you need to do is just drop your name and your address and your information in there. You give this to a client, they're going to be like, man, you got it together. You know, this saves you. I've built my own business before from ground up, doing business plans, and this saves you days of work. If you look at the calculations on here, the numbers are already here. Everything is already here that you need, so you don't even have to do that. So that saves your time. And this package should have been much more money. I don't know if I should be saying that.
Yeah, you say whatever you want.
Yeah, this package is one of those packages that you pay. This whole package is one of those packages that you pay $4,000 or $5,000 for, and because you're doing this is way a lot, because most even programs that you get into, they'll just send you a template and you just fill it in with everything, but you're actually filling in. Only thing you fill it that they're doing is putting their name and their name of their company and the date and signing off on it. And that's about it. You have everything there for them. You know, they don't have to figure nothing out. They don't have to call you up and wait online. Well, what do I do next? Or customer service and say, hey, what do I do next? They don't have to do none of that.
All right. Let me see. This is like a payment plan or whatever.
Yep.
Let's see. Anything else you want to go over in here, Rod?
Yeah, it's so much, man. That's what I told you. Like, when I read, I didn't even really want to reach out to you until I read through the whole thing, because I felt like if I would have read through something, you would have came back at me and said, go to page 55 or something like that. So I needed to read through everything. And you see, when me and you talk, I didn't have no questions on the class at all, because everything that you said that was going to be here is here.
Okay. Let's see. This is just the business. A lot of them want the contacts. Everybody's always asking about the contacts. I'll zoom through this because they have to get the course to get the contacts. But I get them all the vendors and everything.
They may try to put that as still the contact before you put this out.
So let me see. We'll take them to I show them a business plan because you
Uh-huh.
talked about that business plan.
Yeah, the business plan is crazy, man. Any of you guys who have who are real businessmen, if you're a barber and you want to open up your shop or you already have your shop, I know 90% of barbers don't have a business plan. And how I know this because I'm in the industry. Um, I'm a jackleg barber. I've been doing this for a long time, but most of the barbers I know, their shops are either, if they're not failing, if they are failing, I ask the question like, hey, you have a business plan? They say, yeah, I got a business plan. Okay, let me see it. Well, I don't have it written down. That's what most of them say. Well, this literally, not only it gives you the business plan, but this gives you a checklist for yourself. So there's things you could take out of this business plan, or there's things you could keep in. It's all detailed for you. So, I mean, a barber business plan is a barber's business plan. It's not much more than that to it. Like unless you got it, I don't know anywhere else how to explain it. If you're a barber, it's like you just got to know the ins and outs. And there is a lot of ins and outs in barbering, but a lot of barbers don't go to the extent of understanding. And this is why a lot of barbershops don't make it. I mean, you look around, barbershops close every day. Just because they don't have the right business plan.
Now we're gonna go to, let me see. We'll go to the page, ManWeaveUnit here. So did you looked at the website too, right?
Oh yeah. I look at both.
So what did you have to say about the website? So you went on it, you looked at it. Give us a rundown of what you did.
When I first went to it, or now, or on a, well, when I first look at it, I look at that. It says, how barbers and stylists, earn $5,000 per week, from online course. You look at that title, and that jumps out at you because every barber, I don't care where you are, I don't care unless you're one of those Barber of the Stars, and there's not too many of them. But because I've been there and I've done that, but it's not too many Barber of the Stars out there. A lot of you guys, barbers, want to be Barbers of the Stars, but to be absolutely truthful, that only lasts but so long, maybe a year or two, couple of years. As we grow, people grow on, people move, stars move from California, and I haven't met too many stars who are going to pick up their barber and move their whole family next to them just so they can keep a fresh haircut. They find somebody new, and so you have to be able to put down your stakes in the ground, foundation down, and create money for yourself. And so this is what jumped out at me: the $5,000 per week. And I was trying to figure out, I can make $5,000 per week or even more, probably more, if I put this together right. And it kind of, we get tired of working, most barbers, maybe $1,000 a week, $2,000 a week. I mean, a good barber, you could break in like about $2,000, $2,500 a week. But I promise you, if you're bringing home $25,000 a week, $2,500 a week, I promise you, I know for a fact that you're standing up 8 to 10 hours a day and you're burnt out by Saturday. And you don't have no time to enjoy anything because you're burnt out. But with this right here, I'm thinking like, okay, I could earn $5,000 and I don't have to work on Fridays or Saturdays or the weekends. That I needed to find out, what can I do to do that? And not even knowing that there was a big market for man weaves, and not knowing that people who are around me and some of the people who I know already got the man weaves. I just haven't tapped into that market yet. And when you tap in, you'll see there's more people than who want to get a man weave, or they have questions about a man weave. And to me, that's enough. That's more than enough to kind of corner this market and start this course. So this jumped out at me right away.
All right. Then what they get, you look at what they get.
Oh yeah, man. Well, I have the class. I can't really talk about it. They just got to get it. You got to get it, because once you get it and you see everything that's in the package, I don't know anybody who's doing that. I mean, like, you know, you got $1,000 worth of, I think it's more than that. It's worth more than that. You know, yeah, you got total value 11 grand. That's more of a ballpark. And so like they're really jumping on this. You need to jump on it now, because aren't you going to raise the prices on this? Or
I'm gonna raise the price.
Yeah. So they need to jump on it now before it's too late, because like this is like for real. Like you learn this method, and when you look at it, it's going to seem simple. I'm talking about for those seasoned barbers, it's going to seem simple, but if you don't know how to do it, it seems very hard. It's very.
What's your take on the online class versus the live class? Because people always ask me that question, but from a veteran, expert barber like yourself, what's your take on that?
The live class, the problem with the live class is all of these barbers, number one, they don't allow a camera inside of the classroom. They don't allow a camera in the classroom. They don't allow voice recording or recording in the classroom. So if you don't allow that in the classroom, you got to have a photogenic memory. And so a lot of people don't have that. And so you got to I know a brother who took 3 different courses from 3 different people because he thought it was 3 different ways of doing it. And so now they're advertising on some of these guys, I'm going to show you my 5 different techniques. And it's like, nah, that's bull. You either know this way or that way, and then you can put it all together yourself. You know, but so this class, once you know it, and you guys are constantly putting new content on there, and so I'm looking forward to the new content. So that keeps me involved, you know. So that's important, man, because now, like I said, I opened up. I said, let me download this. I did it one day. 2 days later, I came back. Let me download this. Let me copy everything. I went through it, read through it, and then I think it was like yesterday. I heard you said I put the new class on there, and so I couldn't find it. And you said, no, it's there. And then I said, let me go and look again before you call me back and have to show me. And you showed me, and you was like, did you find it? I said, yeah, I got it. You know, I got it. I found it. So it was there. I was just probably looking at the end of the course. But as soon as you told me, I opened up the front of the site and I seen it. And so it was not a problem.
I'm going to share the screen. So you talked about what they would get. Now, what did you think when you saw the pictures?
The pictures is crazy, man. I think the first video I seen, you was walking in your house and I had no clue that you had a unit on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put 2 and 2 together. I said, that's the same dude that's in the pictures. So I put 2 and 2 together, and I'm like, oh man, he got a unit on. And then you started like giving a tour of your house. That's that first video that caught my attention. And then when I went back and I seen on the site, I said, man, this dude is getting all different type of units. And I'm a barber. I'm a bald head dude. You know, not because of choice, but because of, you know, my hairline receded. I'm like, man, what it would take for me to you know, get my hairline back, and so that I'm looking forward to doing that real soon and putting it back on and let it start growing back out and advertise myself, because, you know, if I want somebody to have what I have and they see the difference in me, they're gonna say, man, I want what you got, you know.
Okay, I'll go back. So let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, I think I was just talking about some stuff. Testimonials. Those are probably some of the same stuff. What about that picture?
Yeah, I was like, why he got an afro on? So, you know, they gotta buy the video to see why you have that afro. You know, that's giving too much. You know, I feel like I'm part of a different type of club now. You know, because like, you know, I told a buddy of mine, I was like, nah, you gotta buy the class. I can't give you what I paid for. I work hard for that money. You know, that's $100. That's money. That's money well earned. So, you know, you got to go buy your class, get your class. Don't share it with your friends. let them buy it for themselves, because once you get this class, you're investing in yourself. So you invest in yourself, you good, you know. And tell all your friends, now let's not split it and all share it, you know, because you're exploiting someone else's intellectual properties. You don't want nobody to know your secrets, and you know, this is how we grow, you know. And so by you doing this live class, it's the first that ever done it. I mean, I've been looking now. All of a sudden, everybody else is doing it, but you the first that ever done it with these live classes. It gets no better than this, you know.
All barbers out there have a God-given talent. Whatever your talent is, you need to monetize it, digitize it, and market it to the world. There's somebody out there that would buy what you have. Like with you, Rod, you know how to do the technique. You out there in Houston, take what you learn, teach the technique to other barbers.
Oh yeah.
$600. They come to your shop. You get 10 barbers there. That's $6,000.
Yeah.
You made in one day.
Yeah.
Let's see, we'll go back. Did you see any of these videos?
Oh yeah, I seen all those videos, man.
You saw. Yeah. I don't know if they're gonna play with us being on here.
Oh yeah. I see those videos. They're hilarious, man.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. That was one of the live classes.
Right.
People came. Then, okay, those are just some free classes.
Right.
So, anything else you want to share with the world of barbering and hairstyling? Now, when you started, how much was haircuts when you first started?
I started in 80. I started cutting in 85. I was about 15 years old. Now I had an advantage because my dad owned a barbershop downtown Brooklyn, Fort Greene Projects, and so I had an advantage. I had the clippers. I didn't have to buy no clippers. But I learned how to fix clippers also, because I would take all his broken clippers, fix them, and then use them to cut people's hair. So if anybody know me out there, they know who I am. But you know, Brooklyn, they know, because I built up a good name for myself, and I cut a lot of people's hair. And so back then, I used to cut people's hair inside we had balconies in the project. So I would go on the balcony, hook up my cord in the balcony on the porch. And I did that, man. I did that, and I would charge them like a couple dollars. I was happy with $2 or $3 in my pocket, you know, $5 in my pocket. I was happy, man. And then when I turned 17, I got real good within 2 years. I got really, really good. I was cutting designs, and then my dad put me in Atlas Barber School. I used to cut old school. What's the guy named Ron Van Cleef? You remember him?
Who was that?
Ron Van Cleef. You remember the Black Belt movies?
Yeah.
Yeah, all them guys. My school was in downtown Manhattan, almost midtown Manhattan, like the Chelsea area. And I used to take the train up there every day. Now, mind you, my older brother, he had just graduated from the school, and I came in right behind him. And I used to cut hair in the barber school. We only worked for tips. They was charging $5 a haircut. Mm-hmm. And then right before I got my barber license, I opened up my first shop. It was called Hairbank. And then I left there. They closed down. The owners of the building sold the building. And then we moved to Flushing Avenue. Then we moved to Troop Avenue. And then that was called Like You Want It. And I opened up that shop in 88. When I had that shop, I had my license. And me and my brother, Matt, we got together and we went ahead, man. And we did that thing. And back then, haircuts was $10. Visa was $10. If you got a fade, we throw an extra $2 on it if you got a flat top, you know. And you know, I worked like that for years. This is the only industry that don't like to raise prices, you know. But it depends on what you how valuable you feel you are. And then when you know, as I started growing and understanding the business, I started charging what I felt like I was worth.
What were some of your most memorable haircuts?
My most memorable haircuts. I was in a barber battle in Brooklyn, and I put a Lion King in this young guy's hair, and this was before everybody was getting exotic haircuts, and that was in about '89. That was about 1989. That was one of my most memorable haircuts.
What about most memorable days in the shop?
Most memorable days.
Yeah.
The most memorable days was when the landlord wanted to go up on our rent, and he told me that I had by the end of the week to either pay him the rent, the extra on the rent, because I think the rent back then was like $500. It was a barbershop, and he wanted $580. I didn't want to do $580 because I only started half the year. I was like, you got to wait till a whole year go by before you go up. And he cut the lights off. And so I was cutting with a razor and a comb. And we made good out of it. We still got busy. We didn't use no electric. And we had some diehard barbers back then, man. And that was one of the most memorable moments.
Well, what type of advice would you give an up-and-coming barber or a seasoned barber in this day and time?
I would say know your value, the value that you have. If you know that you're good and you're aiming to get good, I would just say know your value. You know, it's worth, like, I know every good barber, you put that extra inch on a haircut that other barbers don't put in. And so a lot of times people don't respect your work, and they usually don't respect your work is when you don't ask for what your value is, you know? So if you think, I've driven in BMWs, I've driven in Lexuses, I've driven in, it depends on what you want, you know? And so you have to find out, where do you want to be in this industry? You could be in the industry where you could get $10 a haircut, $20 a haircut, or you could be in the industry where you make $100 a haircut. So it's a big difference for me than with somebody else. Where the regular barbers will make, and I don't mind calling them regular barbers, but if you being a regular barber, that means you cutting the regular prices, $15, $20, $25, and you got to grind all day, and you got to get at least 10 clients in order to make some decent money, but that's similar to me as working check to check. It says somebody like me, I cut like 5 heads, I make $500, $400 or $500 in a day, and I'm good, But so that's why this ManWeave stood out to me, because I said, man, if I could corner this market and do 1 head a day, 2 heads a day, I could make me $1,000 a day, or $1,500 or $2,000 a day, and I don't have to stress at the end of the week. I don't have to worry about, is anybody coming in. I could just book my appointments to maybe get about 6 clients, 6 or 7 clients in a week, and I'm good. So we're doing this to make money. We're doing this to support our families. So other barbers, they're doing it just to be the best barber, and that's gonna die out sooner or later. As you get older in this business, you'll see, like, being the best barber is gonna be another young kid who can cut faster, who can fade, who can give you a cleaner haircut. As time go on, you see, you won't, because I always thought nobody's better than me, But as you get older, you have kids, you send them off to college, they come back. You said, man, I did all that. What do I have to show for it? And so, this ManWeaveUnit takes you to a whole nother level of being a barber.
All right. Well, tell them your Instagram name so they can follow you.
Samson Hair Artist, SAMSON. A lot of people ask me, they say, hey, Rod, my name is Rod Samson, but they asked me how come I took the P out my name. And the reason I took the P out my name was because my dad's name was Sam. So I'm Sam's son. So I'm continuing on his legacy. So it's not because I'm being disrespectful and taking a P, because I want to be identified. I identify myself as, everybody knew my dad as Carson Samson. So I took the P out and Sam's son, because I want people to know that I'm a barber's son, and now I'm a barber, and I'm going to teach my sons how to cut hair. This is right here. This market is a growing market. I don't see it dying down. You can feed your family, feed your kids, feed your wife, all that good stuff.
You know, the weaves took over in the women's industry, and a lot of women stopped getting regular hairstyles. And the hairstyles that didn't learn how to do them weaves or whatever, a lot of them had to go back and get jobs, some of them. So it's almost like that weave took over. Now, how long did your dad cut hair?
My dad had cut hair for about 40 years.
So how old was it when he stopped?
My dad was 70 something. He was 70 something years old, but he literally had a stroke while he was cutting hair. He literally cut hair until he died. You know, my dad literally cut hair until his days was over. You know, I wish he would have still been here, because it would have been something for me to show him this is a better way to do it. You know, probably his old age, he probably said, I'm too old for that. You know, them old school barbers, you know, he's used to the razor with the strap and all of that, you know. So, you know, it's different now, but I would have loved to see him. I would have loved to get his advice on how the industry is looking at it now. You know, this barber industry, because there's a lot of money in industry right now. So you can make a lot of money in different ways. You could just do so many different things cutting hair, whether you cut fast or you cut slow or you more detailed. You know, like in New York is more fast. So, you know, a faster barber does well in New York because the shops get crowded and people in a hurry to get out the shop. Houston, there's some areas where like that, but for most part, what I see here in Houston is more a little bit laid back. So people want you to take their time. Nobody's in a rush, and they do a lot of booking and doing a lot of appointments. So it's all up to you where you want to take it. You could just do all appointments, or you can do walk-ins, or you know, you can market yourself however which way you want to.
Now, as times change, like a lot of people, barbers don't want to change. It's like the taxi driver. When Uber came along, some of them taxi drivers didn't want to change, so they got put out of business. And when you had Blockbuster, but then Netflix came and put them out of business. Airbnb has put some hotels out of business, and they call it disruption. You know, something is disrupting the industry. So it's like social media. A lot of the older barbers or old heads, they didn't want to get on Instagram, Facebook, you know, didn't want to do all that stuff. But
that was me. I had a Facebook account. I wasn't, you know, and then all my clients say, you on Instagram? You on Instagram? It's like, you know, you got to get on Instagram. It's the new yellow pages. It's the new everything. You know, Instagram, Facebook, you got to be on social media because that's how you market yourself. You know, if you don't have that, you shooting yourself in the foot. You know, you could be stubborn, and that means you don't want to make no money. You know, some barbers are happy with what they have and what they got going on, and that's cool for them. It may work for them. But if you wanna corner the market and get and take your business to a higher level, you have to be prepared to go on social media and show your work. You know, that's nothing but advertising. Before, I remember coming up, I remember printing up 10,000 flyers and putting them on at every doorstep. I ain't got to do that no more. It's like the print shops are out of business now because you don't need to print flyers no more and put them on at the clubs. I remember a buddy of mine. He's like, man, I work all night, man. But what do you do? Oh man, while you all in the club, I put all the cards on the window. He said, now I ain't got to do that. Because everything is Instagram, everything is Facebook, everything is Twitter, everything is YouTube. So, you know, now you don't have to do that. So that's working smarter, you know, not harder, you know.
And you talked about, I'm going to go to that website. I'm going to go on Instagram because you kept asking me about something. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hook my phone to the computer. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hook this phone to the computer so you can actually go. We're going to go on Instagram and show everybody. Share. So they can see because you kept asking about a website.
A what?
You kept asking about a website. You saw a lady's website that I did.
Yeah, Shakamora.
Yeah, so here we go. Camera roll, Instagram. When I punch Instagram, let's go out of here. That's my face, so let me get off of here. All right, so I'm gonna go to Shaka Moore. Now, she was a barber, and this is something that I do with a lot of barbers. I audit their Instagram, and I build them a website. So in your Instagram account, you see how we put the emojis and we put everything in block forms under each other. And
yeah,
she said she wanted more customers, and I said, well, what problems you solve? She said, well, most of them are frustrated with unprofessionalism, inconsistent, non-detailed, not keeping appointments. And I said, well, what they want? She said, well, they want the best groomer, period.
right.
I said, well, that's what we're going to put. Now, I built her this mini website, and I'm going to show you all a little bit because Rod kept asking about this site. And you can click her number to call her, and I automated it for her. Free, click here for free client, consultation.
Right.
If they click that, look what happens. I embedded her picture on here, and there were certain questions she wanted to ask the client, a potential client. What type of hair problems do you have? How can your barber experience be improved? If you could wave a magic wand, how could you solve it? When they fill this out and hit submit, that goes directly to your email. And I put her best pictures on here, what she wanted me to put. Then I embedded some of her customer testimonials, which are very important. Customer testimonials. So if you got some video customer testimonials, I can embed that on there. That's what we're going to put in there. If they want to book a schedule, you can go to ManWeaveUnit.com to my free tools. This is a free appointment scheduler, totally free. Now I go back to her page. We're going on her website, scrolling on down. Then I embedded some pictures that she had with a lot of the top barbers and celebrities, then some of the professional football players that she services. So now it's building her brand up, making her look more important. Then book here for your next event. Now she's being booked for different barber events and to teach different barber classes.
Right.
She called us Atlanta several times to teach classes, but they would have never known she did that had she not had this on her website. Then we embed videos. Click here to shadow me at work. When she goes to work, every now and then, rookie barbers will pay her just to come to work to watch her use the razor, the clippers, and all of that. So now this is automated business right here. So we can set all of this up for you. And we got a lot of customers that have this. Now, some of the more high power sites like Razor Chick, I built Razor Chicks. This is one of a more high power, but the one Shaka has, that's something that every barber needs. But Razor Chick got a lot of stuff. You can book her, but this is a total different type of website here. It's one of those high power ones. Anything else on Instagram you want me to share with them, Rod?
Nah, I like when I seen that, I was trying to figure out how does he do that, and then when I got in touch with you, you said that's what you do. You offer that service, which I was happy about that because a lot of places you go to, it's hard to contact the people. It's hard to get in touch with them, and it's like when you spend a little bit of money, you expect the world, but this is an investment in yourself, and so I'm more than happy with the product because the product I could see myself just going, and you watch me, you'll see, as the product keep evolving, I'm evolving. Mm-hmm. Every time something new on there, it's something for me to learn from and take my business to the next level. Because it's not just about barbering. If you're a barber and you're not a good communicator, then I don't know any good barbers who don't like to talk. You know, so you're already in the right business. So you could take this right here, this whole product, and plant it into your DNA. So then that way it'll motivate you to go to the next level, so you can make a lot more money, you know, and work smarter, not harder, man. I learned that from you. It's like you got to be smarter about it. And it's like, you know, how long? I'm 47 years old. You know, how much longer I'm going to be able to stand on these good knees? You know, I mean, that means a lot. So I mean, me standing up for 10 hours versus 3 or 4 hours is a big difference, and it takes less toll on my body. You know, if I want to continue to do this for a long time, you know, so I'm not trying to be burnt out. You know, I want to love cutting hair and not hate it. And you've been cutting as long as I have, you can get into an attitude of saying, man, I hate doing hair. I need more haircuts, you know, but this kind of brought the passion back into me to say, you know, I don't have to cut for, you know, for 12 hours today, especially like maybe like my worst times was back to school or Easter. You know, those times of the year was the worst time for me because I loved it because I made money. But, you know, making money, you can make $400 or $500, $600 that day, and you don't see another day like that until it's busy. You know, a big rush, back to school, you know, something like that, something happening, something major, New Year's, Christmas. And why do that when you could just, Christmas to New Year's could be every day. Back to school could be every day, but with less clients. You know?
Yeah. Well, I'll close it out on that, and we're going to stay in contact, Rod. You got my number. Text me, but we're going to get back on in a minute. I'm going to call you.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
All right.